Hello, and welcome to today's episode of Saddest Night Out. My name is Roy, and I am the host of this daily podcast, and it's primarily about music and creative culture in London. I am recording this episode on the eve of my next live show, which will be at Paper Dress Vintage in Hackney tomorrow, Sunday, 22nd of September. It's free entry, and I am playing with loads of Japanese bands in support of Its Own Animal and the release of his new album, Ammonite. That is Sunday, 22nd of September at Paper Dress Vintage in Hackney. Free entry, doors open at 7. Come on down if you can. The guest on today's episode is Nyotaa. Eager listeners to the podcast might remember her from episode 116, which Spotify tells me was uploaded on the 13th of September 2018. So it's been just over a year since I last spoke to her. And at that time, she was part of the brother-sister duo Izadi, along with her brother McCoy. Since then, she started making and releasing music solo. And I saw her perform at the Nelsons on a Thursday open mic, and her latest single, Husband, was absolutely fantastic. And she just might be coming to a Saddest Night Out live lineup near you. Watch this space. But I was very keen to catch up with her and see what's happened since we last spoke. So this is me talking to Nyotaa outside the King's Head after our open mic there last night. Enjoy this chat, and I'll catch up with all of you more afterwards. We are outside the King's Head after an exhausting but very fun open mic. I'm here with a guest who hasn't been on the podcast in just over a year. Would you kindly introduce yourself to the listeners?
Hi, I'm Nyotaa.
Also known as one half of Izadi. I last spoke to you 13th of September 2018. It was a very brief chat with you and your brother introducing you to the podcast. So let's start with there. What have you been up to since September last year?
Yeesh!
Yeah, let's
September last year. Well, I guess that was the time when we weren't living in London. So a couple of months after, we moved into London. So we were just kind of like getting used to the atmosphere, the changes.
Where are you moving from?
We moved from Luton, so not too far. Now we're on Harrow, so like northwest London. Working, and more working. So I guess because we were working, we wanted to see how things would be if we would try to, like, in separate like lifestyles, or no, separate like kind of like vibes when it comes to music. So McCoy is trying to do his more producing side, and also collaborating with a lot more artists when it comes to kind of like bringing their visions to life. And myself, I'm working on my EP right now and putting some singles out there as well, so it's a good balance.
So McCoy isn't looking to like go solo himself, he's rather working with other people? I
think right now he would like to go solo at some point, but right now he would like to learn. He would like to do a lot of learning and knowing the do's and the don'ts of when it comes to like music and the industry itself.
How was the writing process split up between the two of you when you were more working together?
Oh, so we were bouncing off each other like really well. I would write a verse and then I'll show him, and then we'll tweak some together, and then he'll write a verse and then we'll tweak some together as well. It'll be most likely McCoy kind of like working on the composing side as well. So we would always start on the guitar, and I would say what chord I like this one, I like that one, we can mash it up together. McCoy's the type of person that he would listen to a song and play it, and then he will kind of like bring different types of chords to different types of songs. So for example, like I Know Sunshine with Valerie, with Amy Winehouse, just an example. He'd like to kind of like bring it together just to kind of have like that nice weird R&B soul like vibe to the song, and it's really cool, it's really good. I miss actually writing with him. It's been a while.
I was going to say, what's it like now that you're just focusing on your own music? What's that process like? Is it better, different, hard?
It's definitely different, and it's more hard as well because there's only one mind writing it. I do get a lot of feedback from him anyhow, just to ask, you know, how what you think it was and everything. I have a lot of good friends from Coventry as well that I do work along with as well, especially through my EP 21 and Lost, which is coming soon. I had like a nice small friends of team that just helped me out and put also their ideas together as well, which is actually quite nice because it's different minds, not the ones that you're used to. So it's nice having like an input from other people. So yeah.
So when was there a moment when you officially decided, okay, the next thing I work on is going to be mine and mine alone?
Yeah, I think it was like earlier during the year. I was going to my friend called Danazar. He's an amazing artist. I was going to his a lot just to make and create music, and he was saying, when are you ever going to do like things by yourself? And I was like, I'm really not too sure. It was never really in my mind, but I think it's the fact that I think it just came like, you know what, I really like this. I think it was a time when I was writing like a whole song. I was like, yeah. Pour moi, for me.
Do you remember what that song was? Or should I rather say, the name of the EP is 21 Lost.
Yes.
How many songs are going to be on it, and which came first?
It's going to be 5. What came first actually is not part of the EP, unfortunately, but it's not ready yet, but it will be next year. I think like the first song that we officially like finished and was complete was, let me think.
Were there a lot of songs that you went through and then kind of finessed it down to the ones that would make the EP?
Yeah. I really wanted this EP to be one song different than the other. I think Dangerous Love, so Say My Name, was definitely the first one. It's been in my back pocket since last year. And when I brought it out, I was like, yeah, this is the one. And I really wanted to go heavy on it as well. Simply because it's like way different. It's kind of like a punk rock alternative kind of vibe, which you never see Nyotaa do. Nyotaa just does lovely slow love songs. So having that as well is kind of like is that so? So yeah, all of the songs are completely different to one another, which I adore, because I'm a type of girl to kind of like go anything and everything, and I'm quite messy when it comes to that as well. So this project really speaks for me. Which I'm happy about. So
it's running the whole range of influences that you're into and letting the world see that there's more to you than just the smooth kind of R&B sound. There's many sides. I'm not
just a good girl. I'm a rock star too.
Let's make sure the parents don't hear this.
Yeah, exactly.
So you're working with your brother. You started working solo. You've got a collection ready. What's on the horizon for you? Is it shows? Is it a release? Is it more stuff after this EP? Where's your head at?
I think right now it's going to be projects after projects after projects. And then when those come out, then it will be a lot of gigs, a lot of touring. That's one thing I always wanted to go on tour. I just want to go on a small bus and just go from left to right and just see greens and trees and stuff like that. So I'm really trying to make it happen. But yeah, when it comes to like projects, it would be like small singles, music videos, live lounges and stuff like that. And then once those are out, hopefully there'll be like just gigs after gigs after gigs after gigs. Yeah, that's the plan.
Have you performed live solo? I'm guessing at open mics. Have you done anything bigger than that? Have you performed solo with other musicians or anything like that?
No, but it is coming on the horizon. So on October 19th in Coventry, I will be performing at the Boudica Festival, which is kind of like a self-empowerment to like women, which is so cool. So like only women are performing there, so I'm really excited. I just got a DJ which is going to accompany me as well, which is completely different because usually I just kind of like do acoustic stuff or band stuff with my brother. So for it to be kind of like electronic, it would be so cool. So I'm ready for that. So if you guys are about in Coventry, tickets will be online as well. I think this is the first time I'm announcing it, so now I definitely have to be there. I can't be late. So I'll be there. So
it's on the internet now. It's official.
Exactly,
it's happening. Speaking of online, where can people find you? Because last time we talked about where to find you and your brother. Where can they find you?
Yeah, of course. So you can find me at Nyotaa, so Nyotaa, on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. You can also follow me on SoundCloud as well. Husband is out now as well on SoundCloud, which is my first single, which I'm really happy about. Hopefully you guys can listen to it and just let me know your thoughts. I'm hella active on Instagram. It's actually not okay, but if you just let me know your thoughts and feelings about the song, it would help me a lot. Yeah.
Nyotaa, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for performing tonight, and bring on the EP and bring on all the projects that you have coming up.
Absolutely.
We can't wait. Thank you.
Thank you so much for having me.
And that was that. Thank you so much, Nyotaa, for your time. I really appreciate you waiting for me as well. We had been trying to get together a couple of times, but it didn't quite work out. I was meant to talk to her before the open mic, but I got held up and arrived later than planned, so she waited for me to finish packing up everything before we talked. So thank you very much for that, Nyotaa. Can you smell the ambition the purpose, the drive. This is someone who is really willing to explore all that they can achieve with their music. She was already fantastic with her brother McCoy, and I remember seeing them at the Littleton Arms. That's where I recorded our first chat on episode 116. And clearly since then, the talent has grown, the confidence has grown, the ambition has grown, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what comes next. It was a really busy night last night. We had over 20 performers come to the venue, and as I mentioned earlier, I got there a bit late, so I had to really be on my game about how long everyone took and how quickly I went from one performer to the next. And of course, Nyotaa was fantastic as always. Husband is the single, and you can find her on all social media at Nyotaa, Nyotaa. The single is on SoundCloud. Go show some support. And if you happen to see her name on a Saddest Night Out lineup, I do hope you'll come down to check it out. Once again, my next show is tomorrow night at Paper Dress Vintage in Hackney. I am very excited because I recently played Tuesday, and that was the first time I played with a full band, and I'm still on cloud 9,000 with how well that went. But I'll get into all of that in more detail in a future episode. This one is about Nyotaa. This one was just, in fact, more than anything, I'm grateful that I got to record this podcast. I'm grateful she's got a lot going on, but I was in danger of falling into that cycle where there might be something you do regularly, and when you don't do it for a couple of weeks, it suddenly feels very alien to get back into it. The best example I can think of is maybe you go to the gym regularly, and then you don't go for a couple of weeks, and suddenly the thought of going feels like the biggest chore ever, and you keep putting it off. I was in danger of feeling that way about the podcast, so I appreciate Nyotaa for being persistent in getting me to talk to her for the podcast. That's one of the many, many virtues, I don't know what the word is, one of the many good things, for lack of a better term, of this whole enterprise. It's that it involves other people, and when others are involved, it's that much harder to cocoon yourself, to turn yourself into an island and let things fall by the wayside. It's good she's got good people around her, and I'm very grateful that she really was keen to reach out to me to have this chat. Hopefully it'll get me out of my funk and get me back into more regular posting. So thank you once again. I've said it about 100 times already, but thank you, Nyotaa. Thank you all for listening. Do come to Paper Dress Vintage tomorrow night to come and see loads of Japanese bands live, as well as Juliet and Nanette, Delilah Black, and Its Own Animal. It's free. It's a Sunday, so why not? Otherwise, that's all from me. Thank you very much for listening. You can reach out to me on social media at Saddest Night Out, or email me saddestnightout@gmail.com. And I'll catch you on the next one. Take care.